Well, good morning, grandchildren. Grandpa got up this morning and the sun's shining today and it's a pretty day and it's Saturday. And I have just a little time and I thought I'd read you a story. I've done my chores and made my bed and cleaned my bathroom and I hope you helped Mommy out this morning in where you are. And it's time to read another story in our storybook. I decided to read some of these stories out of this book that I got from one of our grandparents on campus. And it's about stories, the treasury of stories for children. And the first one was The Little Engine That Could, and this one is The Old Time Story of the Three Bears. And this is one that I know I read to your mommies and daddies when they were little, and my parents, your great-grandparents, read it to me when I was little. So this is an old story. Once upon a time, there were three bears. They lived in a cozy little cottage that was built just for three. In another house, at the other end of the woods, there lived a pretty little girl who took long walks through the woods. She often strayed from home. Her hair was so golden that everyone just called her Goldilocks. Well, one day, Goldilocks came to the house in the woods where the three bears lived. She looked in the window and seeing nobody in the house, she turned the handle on the door. And the door was not fastened. So Goldilocks went right in. And there on the table, she found 3 bowls of porridge. Here's some pictures. Picture of the bears. And a picture of Goldilocks out in the woods. And here's a picture of Goldilocks looking at the 3 bowls of porridge. So I'll read that part for you now. Now, if she had been a thoughtful little girl, she would have waited for the bears to come home, and then perhaps they would have invited her in to join them for breakfast. But the porridge did look tempting, so she helped herself. First, she tasted the porridge of the great big bear, but it was too hot. Then she took and tasted the porridge of the middle-sized bear, but that porridge was too cold. And then she tasted the porridge of this little small wee bear, and it was neither too hot nor too cold, but it was just right. So she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks saw that there were 3 chairs over by the wall. First, she sat in the chair of the great big bear, but that chair was too hard. Next, she sat in the chair of the middle-sized bear, but that chair was too soft. And then she sat in the chair of the little wee small bear, and that chair was neither too hard nor too soft, but it was just right. So she sat right down until she sat the bottom right out of the chair. Then Goldilocks went into the bedroom, and there she found the beds where the bears slept. First she lay down upon the bed of the great big bear, but that bed was too high in the head. Next she lay down upon the bed of the middle-sized bear, but that bed was too high at the foot. Then she lay down upon the bed of the wee small bear, and that bed was neither too soft or too high. It was just right. So she covered herself up and fell fast asleep because she was so tired. By and by, the 3 bears returned home for breakfast. First, the great big bear noticed that someone had taken out his bowl, the spoon out of his bowl. "Somebody's been tasting my porridge," he said in his great big gruff voice. And the middle-sized bear noticed that her spoon was now in her bowl, not where she'd left it. "Somebody has been tasting my porridge too," she said in her middle-sized voice. And then the wee small bear looked at his bowl, and the porridge was all gone. "Somebody's been looking and eating in my bowl, and they ate it all up, and it's all gone." Next, the same thing happened with the chairs. And you know what Goldilocks had done to the wee small chair. Then the three bears began to look around and went into their bedroom. First, the great big bear noticed that his pillow was now out of place. "Somebody's been lying on my bed," he said in his great big gruff voice. Then the middle-sized bear noticed that the covers were out of place on her bed. "Somebody's been laying in my bed too," she said in her middle-sized voice. And then the little wee small bear looked at his bed, and there was Goldilocks, fast asleep. "Somebody's been lying in my bed, and here she is," said the wee small bear. When Goldilocks heard the small, shrill voice of the wee small bear, and it was so sharp and so shrill, she awakened at once. And up she started, and when she saw the three bears standing at the side of the bed, she tumbled right out on the other side and ran to the window. Luckily, the window was open, and she jumped right out the window and ran away just as fast as her legs would carry her. And what happened to her afterwards? I do not know. But the three bears never saw her again. And here is a picture of Goldilocks sound asleep. And here is a picture of the three bears coming home. And here is a picture of Goldilocks running just as fast as her little legs will carry her away from the bears. And that's our story for today, and we'll read another story tomorrow. Well, it's Saturday. It's my opportunity to encourage you, my grandchildren, to go to church and Sunday school on Sunday. If you can't go yet because of the coronavirus, please watch on TV and talk with your parents. Have a good time in the Lord today, this weekend. Grandpa loves you very much. I hope to see you soon. Bye.